Hello, and welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are introducing our new set, Fortune Teller Tabby, and its coordinating dies. We are also introducing the Reveal Wheel Circle add-on, which works great with the Reveal Wheel, and it also works with the Fortune Teller Tabby. And here's a quick look at how those two work together. This is so super cute, and this is one of 3 cards that we're going to be making in this video today. We also have some templates for the Reveal Wheel Circle that make it really easy for stamping on your wheel and lining it up with the Reveal Wheel. The pack comes with 2 different templates, one with a 4 style and a 3 style, depending on how many phrases you want to change in your window. If you've never made a Reveal Wheel before, make sure to check out our Intro to Reveal Wheel video. We'll link it in the description below. And if you've never used these templates before, make sure to check out the intro video for those. We'll also link those in the description below. We're going to be making a reveal wheel soon, but first we're going to stamp out the Fortune Teller Tabby, and she is so cute. So there's these different phrases that you can stamp in the crystal ball. We have really bright, super duper, very happy, and filled with smiles. And then we have these phrases that go along with it. So it says, I predict your day will be, and we have the ellipses to go after it. We have I see great things ahead, and then your future is ... or your day will be ... Now, the other really cool thing about her crystal ball is that you can put other phrases inside, so it fits really nice with the other Reveal Wheel sentiment stamp sets, especially those kind of square type phrases. You can see the you did it, take a bow, nice going, way to go, all fit in her crystal ball. So not only can you stamp the sentiments from the stamp set, but you can use one from other sets. I also think little icons would be really, really cute, so you could stamp like a picture of a birthday cake or something like that. Now I'm using Copic markers to add color to this cute little tabby cat. So first up, we're going to be coloring the table, and I'm going to be doing it in a purple because I wanted kind of a Halloween look for this cat. What I love about her is that you can have her be a little bit more Halloween-y, or you can have her be a little bit more year-round, and we're going to be showing you 2 versions in the video today. So you can see I've got some shading going along on all the lines at the bottom of it and around the outside edges of the tablecloth, and that makes it look really nice and 3-dimensional. Then for the moon and the stars, I'm going to bring in a yellow, and I really like the yellow mixed with the purple. I think it's really, really pretty. To help those stars and moon pop out from the tablecloth, we're going to take the purple marker and just line around them. It almost makes them look 3D, like they've been embroidered onto the cloth. Now for the base of her little crystal ball there, I'm going to do a nice navy blue because I'm going to be putting some navy blue into my card later. And then I love coloring this cat in different colors. You could do grays or whites, etc. But this kind of orangey tabby color is super cute, and that was the color of one of my cats growing up. So I'm coloring her in, and I was inspired by Elaina on our design team when I colored her in. I loved how she had the orange cat with the red bandana mixed with the purple tablecloth. Now for the crystal ball, I really love using BG10, BG70, and then blending it out with that colorless blender. It really makes it look nice and spooky. These are the coordinating dies, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate. We're going to line that die up with the stamped image and then hold it in place with some low-tack tape and run it through the die cut machine. Here you can see how cute she is all die cut. So you can leave her just like that. Or if you want to use her with the reveal wheel, there's a circle die that's included with the Fortune Teller Tabby coordinating dies. We're going to take that circle die and line it up on the inside of her crystal ball. We'll hold that in place with tape, run it through the die cut machine, and now that's given us a crystal ball that's completely open so that things can change behind it in the reveal wheel. Next, we're going to take a look at the Reveal Wheel Circle add-on. So this is the original Reveal Wheel die, and Reveal Wheel has this really cool puzzle piece opening where you can drop in different styles of windows, and we have a bunch of different styles like butterflies and Easter eggs and all sorts of cool things. And now we have this great circle shape. So you'll see that it cuts a circle-shaped window, and then it comes with 2 little frames. So you can either put this plain stitched frame around it, or you can do that cute little scallop frame, depending on what type of card and look you're going for. The other thing that you can do with the circle is use it with the Fortune Teller Tabby like we talked about earlier. So it's so super cool that not only can you use the circle just for any type of card, just to put your sentiment changing in there, but you can put the Fortune Teller Tabby on top to create a really cool interactive card where she reads your fortune. We're going to start making our first card, and I'm dropping in that reveal wheel circle add-on into the square add-on for the reveal wheel. So that's going to give us this really great square shape with a circle opening. And you'll see how that fortune teller tabby cat is going to fit right over. But before we attach her to the card, we're going to do some inking with some distress oxides. And I wanted to give her this really cool kind of spooky, Halloween-y, fortune tellery background. So I played around with a bunch of purples and blues. So I'm taking one of those blender brushes, picking up some of the ink, and we're going to start off of the card and then go onto the card, building up that color, going from purple into blue. Where each one of these colors meet, we're going to go back and forth between the two colors to kind of blend that line so it looks like a seamless blend. So we'll put our blue down and then we'll go back into our purple to blend it all out. And you can see how cool that is looking. I just absolutely love the look. We need to create a ground for the table to be on, and this was a really cool idea by Shari. She used our simple wavy border there that I always thought of as an ocean as a ground for this fortune teller tabby, and so I think it has a really cool look that goes along with that whole fortune teller thing. So we went ahead and die cut that from some sparkle cardstock from the autumn pack, and I love that black glitter. Now, once I added that black glitter on there, I realized that I wanted a little bit of black towards the top of the card too. So we're going to take some black oxide ink and just go around the very top edges. And you'll see that just a little bit of that black inking on the top really finishes the whole thing off and really makes that blue and the purple pop because of the dark edges all around the outside. Now this is a spray bottle filled with just some plain water. We're going to spray that water onto the ink and it's going to react with the ink. And then I always like to take a dry paper towel and just pick up any of the excess. And I love how it's looking kind of spooky and cool. Now that water drop on the left was a little bit too big for me, so I just went ahead and took a little more ink and covered it up some, and that made it a little bit less stark, and I liked that a lot better. So once I covered that up, I decided to take out the spray bottle once again and then spray it. So anytime you spray and there's a spot that's just a little bit too much, you can just cover it up with ink and then start over. And I kind of like that layer there because it looks like almost like a faded little spot, which is really, really cool. Next, we'll cut that main wheel out of some white cardstock. That's the main wheel from the original reveal wheel die set. And I wanted to add some color to this wheel that would make it look like a swirly crystal ball, since this is going to be the part that's changing in the Fortune Teller Tabby's crystal ball. So I've taken out some BG70 and BG10 markers, and I'm just making little lines kind of in half circle motions. That way, as the wheel spins, the color is kind of changing, and it looks like that kind of eerie movement in a crystal ball. So you'll see there it's kind of got these little circles and motions. There's really no wrong way to do this. I just kind of went in circular motion with the BG10 and then kind of blended it out with the BG70. And I left it looking kind of messy because that's going to look really cool as you spin the wheel. Next, I wanted to take the Your Day Will Be sentiment, but I wanted it to be on either side of the fortune teller tabby. So I just took my scissors and snipped that stamp right in half. That way I can put it on either side of her, but then later on I could put them back together and use it in the original way. So we're going to ink those up and then stamp that using a MISTI to make sure that it's nice and straight and in perfect placement. And you'll see that that's going to pop right off that blue ink. Now it's time to layer on our black glittery ground. So I'm doing that with some nice strong double-sided tape since my background was still a little bit wet. I had no patience. I wanted to see what the card was going to look like. So we'll do the same thing with the fortune teller tabby. We're going to layer her right on there. And I just love how that red scarf and the orange cat are just popping on that blue and purple background. Next, we'll take that wheel that we colored earlier, and I'm going to be using the template with the 4 windows because I wanted there to be 4 phrases that would change, and we're going to line that up with that wheel. Once it's lined up in perfect placement, I like to use some low tack tape. I'm using Post-it note tape here just to hold it in place to make my stamping really easy. Now you don't need to use a template. You can do the original way where you can make pencil lines as guides and stamp that way, but I really like the templates because it makes it nice and quick and easy. So we're going to take the different sentiments from the stamp set and stamp those in. So I like to stamp, and then once I've got my stamping in there, I'm going to take my wheel and I'm going to do a quarter turn so I can stamp the next sentiment. And then we'll go through all 4 of those. Once the stamping's all done, we can remove that template and we can start to form our reveal wheel. So we've cut the smaller wheel base. Also taken out a mini brad and some foam squares, and then we've die cut the reveal wheel square without that circle window in it out of some black cardstock. So now it's time to start forming our reveal wheel. So we're going to take that little brad right there. We're going to put that up through the smaller wheel base that we die cut with the die from the original reveal wheel, and then up through that main wheel that we stamped earlier. Then we can open those prongs, securing those two pieces together. We'll flip this whole thing over, and we're going to add some foam squares around the brad but not touching the brad onto that smaller wheel base. Once those are on there, we can remove the liner paper. And now lining this up is going to be super easy. All you have to do is take one of the phrases and line it up in the crystal ball, hold that in place, and then we're going to take our whole reveal wheel piece and line it up with the base. Once that's in perfect placement, we can press down, and that's going to secure the wheel onto our card base. Then we'll take some foam squares and put it all around that wheel, but not touching that wheel to make sure that it can still move freely. We can peel up the liner paper and then layer our whole card front that we've been working on top, creating the reveal wheel mechanism. For the card base, I'm going to cut a square card base. It's going to be 4 1/8 by 8 1/4, and then we're going to score at 4 1/8 to create this really cool square card base made out of Blue Jay cardstock. Now, once I layered that whole fortune teller tabby piece on top, that Blue Jay cardstock was a little bit too bright. So to make it look a little bit more like the front of the card, we're going to take out some distress ink in the black soot color, and we're just going to ink just a little bit on the edges of this cardstock. And that's going to help take our Blue Jay cardstock, make it a little bit more inky and custom, and also darken it up so that it matches the front of the card a little bit better. We'll add some foam tape to the back of the reveal wheel mechanism, and then we can layer that onto the card base. I always like to put foam tape on the back because it's a little bit easier for the recipient to get their finger in there and spin that wheel. There's an arrow die cut in the original reveal wheel. I went ahead and cut that out of some black cardstock and layered that onto the card so the recipient knows that there's something cool to do, and I am just loving that background so much. It makes me so happy. I can't wait to make another one like it. And then when you start to spin this card, it is the most adorable thing. I love that she's telling your fortune. It's cute and silly and happy and fun. I just adore it. I love that you can use the phrases from this stamp set, or you could use phrases from other reveal wheel sentiment stamp sets, or even cute little icons for a birthday. I think it'd be cute to do a little present and a birthday cake and then some words would be really adorable. Now here I wanted to show you some versions of this card that are really similar but with different color palettes. So here you can see this card on the right by Shari where she used totally different colors that would be perfect for something like a birthday card or a year-round card versus the more Halloween type look that we did on the left. So it's so cute. I love the purple crystal ball too. I also love how she stamped "I see great things ahead" on the bottom. Here's another version where we put the bigger "I predict your day will be" at the bottom with a little sentiment banner. So there's so many ways to mix and match this depending on what look you're going for. Next, we're going to be creating a card that uses the fortune teller Tabby, but without the reveal wheel. So I love that you can make her interactive or just do kind of a plain card, a normal card with her. So right now we're going to be using some stitched rectangles to die cut some pattern papers from Watercolor Wishes and Spiffy Speckles. So we've got some yellow and some blue. And now to kind of add a little pizzazz to that yellow Spiffy Speckles paper, we're going to be taking some Wild Honey Distress ink and just darkening up the edges. This is a really cool way to make it look like you spent a ton of time ink blending something, but it was actually super quick and easy. Just add a little bit of color onto some pattern paper and it's going to have a really, really wow look. Now, because sparkles are awesome, we're going to take out the liquid stardust and we're going to add a little bit onto the craft mat. We're going to mix it with some water just to dilute it down a little bit. And we're going to pick it up with the paintbrush and then tap the edge of the paintbrush to create splatters. And these are going to be sparkly splatters. They're going to react with the distress ink and also look really great with the speckles that are already on the pattern paper. So I love this, especially behind the cute little fortune teller Tabby because it gives her a very shiny, sparkly background, which I think she must really like. So here is the new glitter pen and it adds a subtle shimmer to things. So we're going to color in the stars and the moon and also around the edges of the crystal ball. I love how Shari colored that with a kind of a light green to a light purple. It looks really, really beautiful. Next up is an amazing idea from Lynette that we just loved. So she took the theater add-on for the shadow box card and used it with the fortune teller tabby, and it's such a cool look. So we're going to die cut the top of the curtains and the curtains out of some sparkle cardstock, and when you layer them, you can see that it's the perfect little frame for that stamped image. For the ground, we're going to be using the same idea with that simple stitched wavy banner to create a really cool wavy ground that I think looks really great, especially with the scallops on those theater curtains. So we're going to layer that onto our splattered background, and then we can start to layer all of the other pieces. So we can add our curtains on, and then the top part of the curtains, and then we can stamp our "I predict your day will be" sentiment at the bottom. Now it's time to start layering all of these pieces. So we have our curtain pieces that we're going to layer onto our purple stitched rectangle, and we're also going to layer that whole thing onto a mermaid card base. We're going to add some foam squares there to the back of the fortune teller tabby and layer her between the curtains. And then to add a little pizzazz to the curtains, we're going to add these cute little bows. Oh my goodness, this was so fun. Lynette did this in her card as well, and it was just the cutest idea. So we're going to die cut that from some spring fling paper and then create these cool three-dimensional bows. So all you need to do is add a little liquid glue to the ends of the bows, and then you can just kind of round them a little bit around your finger and attach it into the center of the bow. And you're going to do that with both of the edges, and that's what's going to give you that great little 3 dimensions. Once that part dries, you can add a little liquid glue to the tab and then wrap that around, and that's going to give you that great finished edge. The last finishing touch is to layer on the bow end, so we'll add a liquid glue there right into the center, and then we can layer the bow right on top of that. Then we can just repeat that one more time so that we'll have a bow on both of the curtains. And with the last bow, our card is all done, and this is so super cute. I love the purple and blue and yellow color combination. It makes it so that this card could be great for all year round, not just Halloween time. I also love that you can make her interactive with the reveal wheel or not by doing a card just like this. Now it's time to create a card with the reveal wheel circle that doesn't use the fortune teller tabby. So we're going to take that reveal wheel circle window and we're going to drop it into the puzzle piece of that reveal wheel square add-on die. We're going to be die cutting that from some new fall fling paper, which is so pretty. So when we run this through the die cut machine, it's going to give us this really great square piece that has that circle window opening. To decorate that circle opening, we're going to be die cutting the frame out of some more paper from Fall Fling that's going to coordinate nicely. And then we're going to be die cutting the wheel base and the main wheel out of the new speckled eggshell paper that's just gorgeous and looks great for fall. To create the ground for our scene, we're going to die cut some woodgrain cardstock using that same square reveal wheel die. We're also going to go ahead and layer on that beautiful scallop frame, and then we can start to create our scene. So the images here we're using from Tree Before and Afters and from Spooky Village. But what we've taken is we've taken one of the Spooky Village houses and colored it in a way that's a little bit more fall and a little less Halloween. We've also colored those cute trees with fall leaves, and I think it's such a pretty look. So we're using those stamped images as a guide as to where to put our stitched hillside border. We'll run that through the die cut machine, and now we have a cute hill for all of our stamped images to stand on, and it's got that great stitched edge since we used that square add-on to cut it earlier. Now we're going to take out our templates again to make our stamping nice and easy. So we'll line that up with the wheel and then use some washi tape to hold that in place so that we can do some stamping. And we're going to be mixing and matching from some of the different reveal wheel sentiment sets. And I love that this circle fits so many of the stamps from those reveal wheel sentiments. So we're going to stamp warm and cozy, and then we're just going to turn that a 90-degree turn, and then we can stamp the rest of our phrases. So we have very sweet, the best ever, and fun-filled. Now it's time to create the reveal wheel mechanism. So we're going to put our brad up through the smaller wheel base, and then we'll put that brad up through our larger wheel that we just stamped. Then we can open those prongs to secure everything in place, flip it over and add some foam squares around that brad but not touching the brad, and then we can remove the liner paper. Next, we're going to line up this whole thing with the window of the reveal wheel. Make sure our phrase is perfectly centered. Then we can line it up with our base, press down, and attach the wheel to the base. Then we can go ahead and remove our template. Next, we're going to stamp the rest of the sentiment directly onto the card front, and it's going to say, "Hope your fall is." And so we're going to take some of those stamps and we're actually going to curve them on the block so that they match the curve of that really cute circle opening. Once we've got that curve all set, we can go ahead and stamp that in some walnut ink, and you'll see how great that looks with that curve around that cute scallop circle. Now we can start to decorate the whole front. So we're going to add our ground and also add our trees and our house into this with a mixture of foam squares and liquid glue. We'll add foam squares around the wheel but not touching the wheel. And then before we attach the whole thing, we're going to do a little stamping. So there's an arrow in the original Reveal Wheel Sentiment stamp set, and we're going to pick that arrow out, and we're just going to lay this whole thing on the card base as a guide, and then we can do that stamping really quick, and that's going to let the recipient know to spin the wheel. Then we can take our front and layer it right on top, and that's going to finish up our Reveal Wheel mechanism. The last step is to take that whole thing and put it onto the card base, and I love how cute and simple that is. The little circle window is just so sweet and perfect for cute little scenes like this, and when you spin that wheel, you get the "Hope your fall is fun-filled," "the best ever," "very sweet," and "warm and cozy." Next up, we have some absolutely stunning cards by the design team, and we're starting off with a card by Audrey, and that background that she created for the fortune teller Tabby is so beautiful. Here, I love how Elise has the cat from Keep On Swimming stepping up to the table to have her fortune told. Here's that card by Shari that I showed you earlier in the video that shows the fortune teller Tabby but with an all year round color scheme. Next up, we have a really cute reveal wheel by Elaina. I love the grays and blues and reds she used. Just so cute, and then I love that she has the cat coming up to get her fortune told as well. This is the card by Lynette that inspired us to make our card today. I love her cute traditional orange, purple, and black Halloween colors. And this card by Lise is so cute. I love that purple sparkle background that she created and how she used the speech bubble up top. Here, Megan got super creative and she's added some cats from Meow You Doing and some really cute images in that reveal wheel. She used the triple reveal wheel and has a mouse, fish, and cat, which is so super cute. Here is a card very similar to the one we made today, but instead of ink blending, we used some blue cardstock with some black around the edges. And here's a card by Ivy where her background is some sparkle cardstock, and I love how bright and bold it is. This card by Yanea is gorgeous. I love how she used the curtains too, and I love those purples and blues. And here I love how Letitia filled her whole crystal ball with a bunch of glitter. It's so cool. This card by Nicole just blows me away. I love her coloring. It's so beautiful, and I loved how she used the Upon a Star characters to have them come and get their fortune told. It is the cutest thing ever. And here Grace got super creative. She used a reveal wheel circle add-on and layered it with some really cool scalloped frames to make it look like a sunflower that has cute faces and fun phrases in it. And I just love this idea and can't wait to make one like it. I can't wait to see what you guys do with Fortune Teller Tabby and the Reveal Wheel Circle add-on, so make sure to share it with us. If you want to see some more videos, make sure to click up above. You can also click to subscribe or click to learn a little bit more over at lawnfawn.com. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!